Hello, my friends. Again, thank you so much for coming back. I am honored that you are joining me on this journey, especially in this month, uh, in this theme in particular, because we are here talking about mission based books and how to ensure that your book goes the distance to support something that you care deeply about. And let me just again reiterate, if you've watched my other two videos on this, apologies for the repetition, but I just want it to be known and to be heard that simply writing your book and publishing it is enough. Simply writing your book for yourself is enough, but publishing it is enough to change the world and make it a better place. But when you want to attach it to a mission that is out there trying to make the world a better place in one particular area, there are certain things you can do to make that happen and certain things that will help you pour more fuel on that flame. So that's what we're here to talk about. And in today's video, I would love to just take a step back and really help you see what this looks like and how to identify what might be the, I guess, to reiterate, to reuse some words I've been using, some fuel behind your movement, right? What is moving you? What is the reason you care so much about this? So we've talked about, within the context of actually crafting your book, we've talked about your why, your purpose. Why do you care about writing this book? What do you want it to do out in the world? We've talked about a lot of this, and you may not have picked this up as some of that fuel and power behind a mission, but that's really what that is. What I want you to step back and think about when you think about your book and your story is the why. Why does this matter so much to you? And in particular, what do you want to change about what's happening right now in the world to other people that had it been changed for you, it would have altered your life in a better way. It would have brought you something good. It would have shortened some suffering, ended some suffering, avoided something painful. What is happening out there today that you can say, hey, that needs to stop. That shouldn't be happening. If that were not happening in my life, that would have been less suffering for me. There may be something along those lines that you can identify in your story, that you can go out and be part of a bigger mission, a bigger group of people who are doing these things, to stop that or to start that or whatever it is. So for example, maybe you were bullied in school and this had a huge impact on your life. There is a movement out there to really spread the message that bullying is not okay. And perhaps there's something even more you want to attach your efforts and energies to in that realm. Maybe the school structure, the school setting, standardized schooling could be shifted in some way to support that. So whatever it is that means something to you, you can go out there and be a bigger part of something. Your book is your voice, and that is a permanent thing. You're putting your voice out there. People can pick that up anywhere around the world at any time, day or night, and they can gain something. Then what you can do is take that voice and march forward, right? You can take your book and say like, okay, we're here for the ride. I've already said my piece and now I'm down for some action, right? So think about what might need to be changed from your perspective that drove you to write your book. There are so many things that that this could encompass. It's wild and just profound to think about. There are so many stories and so many different things that, if they were attached to something bigger, could make this world so much better, right? So this is not a short list here. And then another angle to look at this is from what you shared in your story and what you learned, what pain can you save your readers? They might not know that it could be down the road for them. But if you're proactive, if there's something proactive you can do, it might help save them many years of pain. Okay, another example for this one. Let's say you wrote about your journey through, the most painful divorce, and it could have been different. Maybe there is a group of activists, attorneys, or divorcees, people out there really trying to work with couples and really trying to minimize the suffering that divorce brings along with it for the two people getting divorced and for the family and children and all of that, right? So maybe you can't avoid divorce, right? Like you can't stop that from happening, but can you stop or can you minimize that process, that being painful, if you will? Maybe that's something you can also look at when looking at your story. What did I learn along the way? Or what did I experience along the way that I know I could be part of helping shift for someone? That could be a really powerful thing. And maybe it's not like, hey, end world hunger. Maybe it doesn't feel very big, but that's okay. It doesn't need to feel big, but it actually is big. When you look at it, if you are able to end the suffering for even one person or help them avoid years of suffering, when you think about that, how does that make you feel? That makes you feel good. You are out there doing something big. If it only touches one person, that's big enough. That's big. I'm a fan of that, okay? So it doesn't need to be a massive, huge world movement, okay? It can, but it doesn't need to be. It can be one little thing that makes you feel like you have made a difference in the lives of other people. And again, your book will do that no matter what. However, this is kind of like the next step. This is the level up. You and your book get to go march forward a little bit. So think about that why. Think about your passion, your reasoning behind writing this book. What do you want people to take away from this book? And if you could transform that into your action and take that action out into the world, what would that look like? How could that change lives? What would you have appreciated receiving while you were going through what you went through in your story that you share with us in your book? So there is just another perspective on writing a book that is really mission-based and really attached to something that is bigger than you, right? Bigger than just your experiences. And so there's a lot of different ways to think about this, and this is just one of them. I'm going to continue this discussion with another way to get your story out there that helps you push forward a bit more learning and teaching, if you will. So I will be back for that, and I hope to see you there in my mind's eye.